Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the broadcast. Dr. Keith Nurse was appointed as the principal of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College as of the 1st of November 2019. The distinguished scholar has an impressive resume and has previously served in many positions, including as UWI's World Trade Organization Chair, Executive Director of UWI's Consulting Inc., Senior Economist at the OECD Development Center in Paris, and the list goes on. He is making the case for the SALCC to break out of the narrow confines of the St. Lucian context when it comes to its student population. Dr. Keith Nurse is focused on the development of the island's premier tertiary level education institution, the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, SALCC. He was appointed the principal on the 1st of November 2019. He is a Trinidadian national with strong ties to St. Lucia. He commends the tremendous amount of goodwill from the general public as it relates to the legacy of the college and says this is a major plus for the institution. But he is also assessing where the college is falling short and needs improvement. One major problem, according to Dr. Nurse, is that the college is not seeking to attract students from outside of St. Lucia.
And Martinique, which can be viewed from here on St. Lucia on a good day, hasn't been a target market. Now, I don't understand that because you can't find a cheaper neighbor that has not only purchasing power, but also has a strong interest in partnering with us.
Dr. Nurse says the fundamental issue is the reality of aging and shrinking populations and how this will affect institutions like the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College.
If we build a educational plant to target only the St. Lucia market, and I would dare say so, even only the English-speaking market in the Caribbean, then we are going after a market that's shrinking at a rapid rate. So it's estimated that by 2050, the English-speaking Caribbean will have a population that's probably going to be 1 million less than we now have. So if you think we're small now, we're getting even smaller. Yeah. So if we are not putting that into our planning, then we are setting ourselves up for a big surprise.
Yeah. The SALCC principal says viewing education as simply a social investment is a very narrow view of the sector. He makes the case for embracing education as an economic driver.
It's also that in some of the territories around the region, education has become part of the tourism product, so that you have educational tourism impacts in a country like Grenada, where St. George's University operates, for example.
And it's been very successful.
Not just very successful, it accounts for over 15 to 20% of the GDP of Grenada. It's one of the key drivers of the economy.
He says St. Lucia's investment in its education sector moving forward will undoubtedly shape the future prosperity of the nation in more ways than one. Now, the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College has signed on to the 2016-2019 and 2019-2022 collective agreements following some amendments. President of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, Julian Monrose, said he is pleased with the outcome of the negotiations. More in this report from Julita Peter.
The brief signing was held at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College on November 26, 2019, involving the SALCC and its bargaining agencies, the St. Lucia Teachers Union, SLTU, and the Civil Service Association, CSA. The ceremony was also witnessed by representatives of the Labour Department and the government negotiating team. The SLTU president says they are pleased that some of the clauses that were negotiated in terms of salaries and the lump sum payments have already been implemented. Meantime, the SLTU president called for the SALCC to have greater status on the negotiating table.
The St. Lucia Teachers Union, in particular, wants to put on record that while we understand the principle behind the government negotiating team representing the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, because there are financial implications for the state, we have the view that the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, the Board of Governors, should have a more prominent role in the negotiations rather than just being observers. If the board has a more prominent role, we believe that it will make arriving at decisions on negotiations a lot a lot easier. So that is in terms of our take, in terms of moving forward. We look forward to working with the board for the implementation of the collective agreement. Having the document is one thing. Implementing the articles of the collective agreement is another, is also very, very important.
Chairman of the SALCC Board of Governors, Mr. John Calix, has welcomed a proposal by the SLTU President for the two parties to meet to discuss the rollout of the other articles of the collective agreement. Also addressing the audience was the CSA General Secretary, Mr. Claude Paul, who noted the cordial relations between the CSA and the SALCC. He said this relationship will be further cemented through some joint activities in the near future. This, he said, will augur well not only for the CSA membership at the SALCC, but the entire CSA membership. From the Department of the Public Service Communications Unit, Julita Peter reporting.
The public is asked to note that retrofitting works under the Smart Healthcare Facilities project have been completed for the Moshi, Entrepot, and Tiroche Castries Wellness Centers. Therefore, the Moshi Wellness Center has reopened as of Tuesday, the 3rd of December. The Tiroche Castries and Entrepot Wellness Centers will resume health services on Monday, the 16th of December. The public is also informed that works have been completed at the Babono Wellness Center and the facility is now reopened for health services. In an effort to facilitate works at the Grand Riviere Wellness Center, the facility will be temporarily closed from Wednesday, the 4th of December to Monday, the 9th of December. Therefore, the Grand Riviere Wellness Center will reopen on Tuesday, the 10th of December. For more information or questions, please contact the Community Nursing Service at 468-5321 or 468-5381. During Prime Minister Alan Chasney's address at the annual general meeting of the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, he tasked the Chamber with the responsibility to commission a private sector association. He pledged the government's support to the establishment of such an association and foresees close collaboration with government ministries.
You've got to be involved in these discussions from the onset. And we are depending on the private sector for innovative ideas on how we're going to resolve these issues. And you can't keep volunteering your time. So there has to be a paid professional staff of senior technicians that are able to provide your opinion and your inputs and to work with the technical staff of the government as well as the regional agencies in being able to solve these problems.
Prime Minister Chasney says that his administration is prepared to walk the walk and not just talk the talk on the matter. He says government would help establish a funding mechanism for such an association.
And so again, publicly, I'm going to make this pronouncement that my government has indicated that we're prepared to identify a tax, that revenue will come directly to this private sector association to be able to help fund, to make sure that we have the requisite technical people involved. Okay, because it's not going to work the way we're doing it. It's also not working the way we're doing it in government in terms of our overall organizational structures.
The Prime Minister says there is a dearth of innovation and ideas, and he makes a case for taking the emotion out of some of the pressing issues like reform to personal tax. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. Sports news and the weather are all coming up after the break.